My name is Bob Mwiti, and I was born and raised in Meru County. That's where I grew up. I grew up with my grandparents. I was born almost 38 years ago. I grew up with my grandparents. I was born of teenage parents. So my mom and dad were still in school when I was born, and which a lot of kids out there, they find themselves in those kind of situations. So I grew up with my grandparents. I was a typical village boy. I went to the local public primary school, which is called Gikumene Primary School, very close to Meru town. Mm-hmm. And I did my Kenya Certificate of Primary Education from that school. I did very, very well. In fact, I was admitted to Nairobi school, but unfortunately, my grandparents, they could not afford an equivalent of $500 to take me to Nairobi school. So they had to look for a school within the locality. So I ended up going to a very nice school in Meru County called Kobo High School, not very far away from where I grew up. And then I went to that school for 4 years. I finished my KCSE in 2001. I did well also in that school. I scored a B+. I was admitted to University of Nairobi. Mm-hmm. And I was admitted to University of Nairobi to study Bachelor of Science in Mathematics at the Chiromo campus. And at Chiromo, I didn't stay there for a long time. I transferred to Strathmore University, and that's why I completed my bachelor's degree. I did a Bachelor of Commerce in Accounting and Finance. I graduated in 2008 before I relocated to the US to study MBA at Indiana University of Pennsylvania. So I came to the US in 2009 and I graduated in 2011. And then after that, regular hustle, just like everybody else who comes here, especially those who come as international students. And so when I graduated, I was really struggling to find work in corporate America. I could not even find internships, just kind of like the same struggles almost everybody goes through, especially those who come to this country as international students. Mm-hmm. But luckily, I'm one of those people who are usually very, very inquisitive. I try to look into what other people are doing, especially people around my, who are like doing the same kind of things. So there's a lot of international students, mostly Asians, that I was looking at who were in the same class, MBA class, and I could clearly see that they were graduating and finding good jobs in corporate America. Okay, and I realized that most of them were getting into the tech space, okay, in the tech industry. Mm-hmm. And I thought about it and I was like, you know what, I'm struggling here. I don't have a good job. I was working at the time. After I graduated, I was struggling, trying to find work. I couldn't find anything. And I got a job working at Wendy's, cleaning bathrooms and all that. And that's the time I decided, you know what, I think I need to do something about my life. I have to figure this thing out. So I reached out to a couple of friends, Indians, and they introduced me into the tech world, although I had no tech background. Mm-hmm. And that's really how I got into technology. I got trained as an Oracle systems analyst. And basically, I was trained to be that person who configures and sets up the Oracle system, which is basically one of the systems big companies out there they use to record their day-to-day transactions. Okay. And I was trained to be that person who sets up that kind of a system for a company. And this is from the front end without necessarily doing any programming work. So so I got into the industry. I stayed there for a few years until I got tired. I got tired of corporate America, and I found my organization in 2017. Mm-hmm. And now, since then, that's really what I've been doing up until today.
Very good. Fast forward.
Yes.
That's
Yes,
a very inspiring story of your life. And because I know there are people who are watching here, and some of them would wish to to borrow a few points from you. One, failure to have some money to take you to the school of choice does not mean that you will not succeed. Bob Mwiti, down the line, here he is, a founder, or rather a president of an organization that he is going to tell us about. Before I proceed on, let me ask you a question. There are so many people who think that you cannot get to the IT industry because maybe I'm not computer literate, or I'm not computer savvy. I'm not very successful when it comes to computer issues. So can you tell us the opportunities in the IT industry? And do I need to be that computer guru when it comes to, the IT, information technology industry?
Very, very good question. Now, it's good that you mentioned this, because a lot of our people, there's that misconception about IT, that IT is for people who know how to code. What I can say is, personally, I can't write even one single line of code, okay? And I own an IT consulting company, all right? And I've worked in the tech industry for quite some time, all right? So there's a lot of opportunities in the tech space. And a lot of our people, especially us Africans, we think that most people out there, they think that, and this is even what I used to think myself, like if I really have to get into the tech space, especially tech consulting, wow, because there's areas in IT where you can make some really good money, which is basically consulting, where you're solving complex problems for companies. And I used to think that you really have to be a programmer. And I was wrong, because once I got into the industry, I was trained as an Oracle systems analyst, basically implementing an Oracle system, a very, very complex system from the front end without necessarily doing any programming work. Okay, so there's those kind of jobs. For example, you can work as a business analyst, you can work as a tester, QA, quality assurance analyst, there's a lot of opportunities out there that does not require you to have any tech background. Okay, like for example, I have a Bachelor of Commerce degree from Kenya in accounting and finance, and I have an MBA, all right? But I'm in the tech industry. Okay, so you don't even have to have a computer science degree for you to actually do very, very well in the tech space. And I always say this because a lot of people also think that maybe those kind of opportunities that are in the tech space for people who don't know how to code, they don't pay a lot of money. And the other ones that, for the people who know how to code, they pay more. In fact, actually, I think it's the other way around. Most of the people get paid well are those people who actually understand the front end of things. All right, because most coders, they actually sit behind the scenes. All they do is just coding. So they don't get paid a lot of money like someone who is actually, like, for example, someone who is a systems analyst, because that person is the person who is on the front line. They are the ones who are talking to the business. They understand the business processes. They question the business and all that. And then now they pass those requirements to the developers. So anybody who is out there, and which is a lot of our people who fear IT, don't fear IT. There's a lot of opportunities out there. You don't need to have any technical background. All you need to be basically to be trained on something, which you can be trained even if you have any kind of degree. And once you get trained, you should be good. No big deal. You can really do amazing stuff out there.
Very good. And how is the job market in the IT industry? Would you please give us a picture of how the job market is and the future? I know we are all saying the future is IT, and that is true. But to speak it from your own, knowledge.
Absolutely. And when it comes to the kind of money that you can make in the tech space, it's quite handsome. And this is also based on my own experiences, having worked in the industry for some years. It's very, very easy to make a six-figure salary when in the tech space. But I would say it also depends with where are you in IT industry, all right? Because when it comes to IT is very, very broad. There's a lot of jobs out there that are more they don't pay well, even though they're in the IT industry. Okay. For example, if you're that person, like for example, who fixes people's computers when they break up, that kind of a job doesn't pay well. Probably maybe it will pay you maybe $15-20 an hour. Okay, but if you are smart, and this is what a lot of our people, because I see this a lot of our people from back home, they have the brains, but the kind of money that we make in America doesn't reflect the kind of brains that we have. Okay, so
repeat that, and
yes, I'm
expound on that.
I'm gonna repeat it again. A lot of our people, we come here, we are very, very satisfied with jobs that don't pay really well. Okay, a lot of people, they get paid $15, $20, but they are very, very comfortable with that kind of a job. And these are people with the brains. These are people with degrees. Okay, what I've seen, because if you go to the tech industry, 70 to 80% of those people who work in the tech industry, it's Indians. Okay, it's Indians who work in the tech space. And if you do your own research, you'll find out that Indians, they are the highly most paid race in this country. All right, Indians, they make more than anybody else, whether it's white Americans, anybody, they make more. And it's because they're in the tech space, because that's where the money is, especially if in the tech space where there's money, because like I told you, there's a lot of areas within the tech space that doesn't really pay well. But if you are in consulting space, that's where the money is. And I always tell people, you know what? If you're in an organization and you see Indians in one of the departments, just know that's where the money is, and that's where you need to be if you're smart. Okay, if you have the brains, that's really where that's where you need to be, because that's where the money is. These guys, even where we live, I live in Tampa, Florida. Okay, and some of the places around here in Tampa, close to the beach, where there's nice houses. Who do you think lives there, other than the white Americans? Which immigrant group do you think lives there? You'll find it's Indians. Even here in Tampa, even wherever you are, you'll find a lot of them, it's Indians, because they are the ones who make a lot of money in this country. Okay, and it's because majority of them are in the tech space. Okay, so I always encourage our people, if you have the brains, if you have that degree, don't come here and try to and be happy making $15, be happy making $20, be happy even making $30. Challenge yourself, because there's a lot of good jobs out there in the corporate world, especially if you have the papers. All right, if you have the papers, you can work in corporate America, you can make good money, you can make a 6-figure salary job. All right, not a lot of people make 6-figure salary, but if you look at the Indians, they make 6-figure salary. Their median household income of Indians is about $100,000. Median household income of Indians. All right, now median household income of Americans, it's about 60,000. You see the gap, 40,000 difference. Okay, median household income of the best African group, immigrant group, which is Nigerians, it's about 60,000. All right, so you can see that Nigerians are the ones who make most money when it comes to Africans. They make around 60,000. You cannot compare them with what Indians are making. All right, and that's why you see Indians, they are everywhere. They have businesses, they have everything, because they have a lot of money. They are making money from the tech space. Even if if you go to an organization, even in the IT department, you'll never see an Indian doing the operations job. Those, like, for example, let's say, for example, in an accounting, department where people maybe are entering invoices. Most of the people you'll find, those who are entering invoices, doing those operations job, they are usually the typical Americans. But the Indians will be doing those kind of jobs, because those jobs, they don't pay well. And that's why even you see a lot of our people going and doing those kind of jobs that will pay you like $20, $25 maybe with an overtime, and yet you have a degree, and yet you can do these other jobs. Like, for example, me, I have a business degree. All right, if I went the route a lot of our people take, I would have been maybe an accountant, okay, or maybe like an operations guy within an organization. Let's say even working in corporate America. Okay, I've been that person who is entering invoices, doing reconciliations for the firm, running financial reports. How much do you think that kind of job would pay me? That job won't pay me even $40 an hour. Okay, but what did I do? I went ahead, learned how to implement that system that accountants use. Implement it without necessarily doing any programming work. And that's what a lot of Indians do. Okay, so if our people can be able to know, how do you go behind the scenes and actually learn about those systems that people are using on a day-to-day basis, rather than being the person, you being the person who is using that system on a day-to-day basis, where you are getting paid like $20 and you are happy with it. Learn how to implement that system so that you support it for those other people so that they can use it on a day-to-day basis. That's where you can make money. And that's where consulting comes into the picture. Okay,
Beautiful.
so I like encouraging our people a lot to look into that. You know, broaden the way you look at things. Don't look at just working in corporate America. There's a lot of people working in corporate America, but they don't make money. In fact, actually, they are poor. Then they are working in corporate America. It's true. It's true, seriously. So you have to talk about these things. Our people need to know about these things. Okay, they need to know that there's money out there, but you have to know where the money is.
That is Bob Mwiti, who is the president and the founder of Appstec America. Let me tell you guys, these men that you see on the screen, that is just next to me, he started an organization that helps people to do so much. He brings people that's called the Airlift. I remember the Airlift when we were talking of Obama's dad many years ago, when there was that Airlift of the 1950s or the 1960s when people came to America. And then there is this one that Bob speaks about, and he's going to tell us about it shortly. Remember that you can ask a question. You can share this program with somebody. Let me tell you something that is happening. We have become so good in sharing and in sambazaring information. Some of the information has nothing to add in our value, or it has nothing to add in our lives. It has nothing to add in our families. It has nothing to add in our bodies. It has nothing to add in our pockets. But we are very good in sambazaring. Kusambaza. Let me tell you, if at all you have somebody who is in the house, you yourself or somebody, or your son or your brother are back in Kenya, can you please share this YouTube message with him or her? Because this one can change somebody's life. I'm telling you. This program can change the way we think and the way we imagine about things. Yeah. We are busy. Today I saw some people talking about the pastor who was praying, and they even forward and say he was not, he didn't mention the name of Jesus Christ, or he didn't mention God, and even some of them even put, he didn't mention the name of God, capital, he even put a small. You know, we are so petty in some of these social things, but I'm telling you, there are people who are making money and billions and millions through the tech industry. Now, tell us about Appstec.
Thank you so much. So my company, Appstec America, I started this company in 2017. And at the time I was working as an Oracle systems analyst. I used to work for a financial institution here in Tampa, Florida. And before then, I had actually started doing more of like a side hustle, where I would help out, friends, and, I'll help them, look for work, and I will make a commission out of that, and I'm one of those people who I usually have a lot of, when I get introduced to someone, I like keeping those kind of networks, all right? I maintain them. So during my time when I was getting jobs, when I got into the, into the industry, in the corporate world, I had some networks with a lot of recruiters out there. And actually my friends would come to me and they were looking for jobs, and, I would connect them to the recruiters, and they would get jobs, and I will make a commission out of that. So I was like, you know what? I think maybe I can start something, where I can actually try to help people, from as a company, rather than just doing it on the side, And that's really where now the idea of starting a consulting company came into fruition. And so I started the organization in 2017. And basically, Appstec America is an IT consulting firm. And our core business here in the US, what we do is we train mostly African immigrants to get those job skills, I call them high income job skills. Okay, high income skills in the tech space. Okay, we train them on those kind of skills, and also we help out with the placement services. So that's really our core business here in the US. All right. Now we have various training programs. We have training programs on robotics, process automation, business analyst. Okay, this is a relatively new technology that a lot of people out there, they don't know much about it. And a lot of people, they fear so much when they hear anything about robotics. They think it's so complicated.
Very true.
Okay. All right. So it's not complicated. We have different programs within robotics space. So we basically train people to implement a robotics process automation technology within a company. All right. And it's a skill that can make you some really good money. It's basically, with that kind of a skill, you can definitely make a six-figure salary. All right. We also have training programs on artificial intelligence and machine learning. All right. Now, when it comes to artificial intelligence and machine learning, right now, globally, we are in the fourth industrial revolution. Okay, where data is the new oil. Okay, everything is about data. Okay, everything out there. All right, even when you're on Facebook, companies, they are trying to analyze data. Those people who are, for example, having these live sessions, they understand what are they watching and all those things. It's all about data. Okay, a lot of companies need people who can analyze data. Okay, and there's a lot of technologies out there, especially artificial intelligence, that is helping out companies do this kind of analysis. Okay, computers are being trained to do this kind of work so that they can predict those kind of trends or analysis. So they need, a lot of companies out there, they need people with these kind of skills. There's not many people out there with these kind of skills. All right, and that's really what we train people on. Okay, and these are skills that can make you six-figure salary. Okay, at a minimum. That's like the bare minimum. All right, and that's one of the other programs that we train you on. We also have a training program on Oracle systems, and basically this is the exact same training that I went through almost 10 years ago. All right, so we train people to implement the Oracle system from the front end. You don't have to know any coding, all right, and you can make some good money. So those are the programs that we normally train people on. And also we do coaching programs for those people who are looking for visas, especially student visas. And we do this program because also personally, I was denied visa 4 times. I think we're going to talk about that later on. And we have these coaching programs for those who want to come here to study and, they want to go to the embassy. So we coach them. But other than that, also, we do placement services. So if there's anyone out there looking for jobs in the corporate world in America, and they have the right brains, because also with IT, you have to have the right brains, because, this is one of those areas where you can't, you have to know what you are doing. Sure. It's either you know or you don't know. Okay, but a lot of our people, in fact, actually as Kenyans and Africans, we are one of the highly most educated group of immigrants. Okay, so we have a lot of people who are smart, although they are not making a lot of money. You cannot compare what they are making with what they have in their brains, and that makes me get mad a lot, because I see a lot of people wasting themselves out there, making so little when there's so much potential out there, especially if you have the right documents, man. If you don't have the documents, then that's fine. We can understand that. But if you have the right documents and you have the brains, come on, go out there. There's a lot of jobs in corporate world, especially in IT, and you don't have to fear IT, man. IT, it's not all about coding. So that's pretty much what we do. Now, other than that, we have our flagship program that we started just the other day. It's called the Kenya Airlift program. All right. Beautiful. Probably maybe I can expound a little bit more about that, because I think that's one of the programs that a lot of people out there now have started knowing me about.
Thank you so much. Let's put a comma there.
All
because
right.
I know people want to learn more about the Kenya Airlift program.
Yes, sir.
And as Bob just said, he deals with, the Appstec deals with different products. And the IT skill training programs, the USA graduate study programs, the USA student visa coaching program, and I also see the GMAT and the GRE self-study materials. I also see the issues of professional and legal documentation at the Internet Business Training Program. All
Correct.
these programs, you can be able to visit appstecamerica.com. And appstecamerica.com, I just shared the website right there. It is there's a lot of information right there. And you can share this with your son or with your daughter back in Kenya, or your brother or your sister, because I know that very many people have been asking me, Captain, let's apply for this green card. And then you apply for green card, nothing comes. And then others want to know, how can I come to America? And when they come to America, they want to know, how can I make money? And especially at this time when there is a new government, let us take advantage of every bit of information and resource, because information is a power. And I always tell my fellow immigrants, you cannot you cannot you cannot feel this country. Even if we come, all of us, this country is so huge. There's such a huge opportunity out there. And tonight our guest, on behalf of the Diaspora One Voice Consortium, Dr. Sherry, thank you so much for making sure that we have this great man in the studio, that is the president and the founder of Uptech America. Let's go to this issue of the Kenya Airlift program. I know so many people have mentioned it. I know many people have asked me about it. And we have the right person. Bring it on.
All right. Thank you so much. Now, for the Kenya Airlift program, it's a program that we just started, not long ago. In fact, I started it in 2018. Now, how I started this program is based out of my own struggles when I came here in the US. And this is basically the exact same struggles a lot of our people face when they come to this country, okay, as international students. All right. Now, like I told you, when I came here, before I got into the tech space, I graduated with an MBA. I could not find a job. I was struggling. I was working at Wendy's, cleaning bathrooms, all that. No information about what I needed to do. And I could clearly see all other African students that I knew in my school, none of them had a very good job. All of them, we were struggling. Okay, all of us. All right. But like I told you, I was very inquisitive. I was looking at these other international students, what they were doing, and I could clearly see the Indian students were doing very, very well. They were graduating, they were getting good jobs in the tech space, and I could hear them working, I don't know, somewhere, working with Google, working with Yahoo, or as a systems analyst, as a business analyst. All right. So I learned. Okay. Now, having worked in the tech space, and having, tasted, life in corporate America, I was like, there's a lot of people out there like me who come to this country as international students, but they don't have a way of figuring things out. Okay, they come here on a student visa. They don't know how to transition from a student to a skilled worker. Okay, now for me, I got my green card through employment. Okay, and bro, I can tell you, I'm not bragging or anything, but these are facts. Me, I like talking about facts, by the way. All right, and because a lot of people, they don't like hearing these kind of things, and these are stuff that I always like talking, the stuff that are not comfortable to a lot of people. Okay, now I got my green card through employment. Okay, I got my H-1B visa through employment. Then after that, I got my green card through employment. A lot of our people who come to this country, most of them come as international students. Okay, but what happens? Most of them, they are not able to transition to get into the corporate world and even get immigration documents through employment. Okay, they struggle so much. And why? Why do they struggle so much? One of the main reasons is because they are not able to, there's no one out there to tell them or to give them the information on how to go about it, to figure out how to get good jobs and get sponsored to get a green card or H-1B visa. Okay, the US government gives about 85,000 H-1B visas every year, and they give around 140,000 employment-based green cards every year. Okay, and out of those 140,000 employment-based green cards, these are divided across all the countries equally. And each country gets about 9,800 employment-based green card slots. Guess how many Africans or how many Kenyans get these kind of green cards? Not even 100. Okay, out of the 9,800 that you are given every year, and it's not because we don't have 9,800 Kenyans with the right skills.
That's true.
Yes. Okay, these green cards, we don't use them, and they end up going to Indians. Okay, in fact, there's so many Indians looking for employment-based green cards. Indians, for them to get an employment-based green card, it takes them more than 15 years to get an employment-based green card. Because for you to get an employment-based green card, you have, the US government, they have to have a visa available. Okay, and Indians, right now, those who are getting an employment-based green card, Indian nationalities, they are those who applied in 2005. Yet, as Kenyans or Africans, our green cards, if you apply for an employment-based green card, if you get a company that employs you and applies for you for an employment-based green card, you get it within 18 months. 18 months, and you don't incur anything. Everything paid for by the company. Okay, now, what do you have to have for you to get that kind of an employment-based green card? All you need to have is the right skills. And what do I mean by the right skills? You have to have a skill that most Americans don't have. Okay, and which skill is that? IT is one of them. IT is one of those skills where Americans don't have the skills. Okay, because when a company files for your employment-based green card or an H-1B visa, they have to prove to the US government that you have a skill that Americans don't have. In fact, actually, they have to advertise for your job, okay, and show the labor agencies that actually they were not able to get an American. Okay, now if you came to America and you have the exact same skill that I had when I came here with an MBA, because I had worked in Equity Bank back in Kenya, okay, as a teller. Those kind of skills, even though you have an MBA, everybody has those kind of skills. You can't get a green card by being a teller. You can't get a green card by knowing how to enter an invoice in the system, because those are the kind of jobs that a lot of people can do. Okay, so that's why it's very, very important that you have the skills that Americans don't have for you now to have the green card. All right. Now, when I thought about all these things and all these problems that a lot of our people have, that's when I thought about how can I help these people? Okay, I know a lot of people out there, when they hear about the Kenya Airlift program, all they know about that program is that we are bringing students to America. That's what a lot of people out there know about the program. But there is much more than that. And that's really what I want to expound on this platform today. All right, so that people can exactly know what you are trying to achieve here. Okay, because when the Kenya Airlift program, basically what we do is that we source for funding, all right, because also there's a lot of people out there, there's a lot of brilliant Kenyans who want these kind of opportunities to come to this country, but they don't have someone who can help them. Okay, it's so hard to get to this country. It's so expensive to, for example, to have a master's degree. If you don't have deep pockets, you can't be able to study here. If you don't have a scholarship, you can't be able to study here. So what we do is we help them out. Okay, we source for funding in terms of graduate assistantship awards, which are basically more of like scholarship that are usually offered by schools, okay, for those who are studying master's programs. Okay, and these usually also come with jobs within the college, okay, where you can work with professors. All right, so we source for funding in that aspect, graduate assistantship awards, but normally also these awards usually would cover full in-state tuition. Okay, and international students, they are usually charged double the amount of what regular students, in-state tuition, in-state students are charged. Okay, so for example, if you're doing a master's program, and if a local student is paying about 5,000, an international student will be paying 10,000. All right. Now, if you get a graduate assistantship award, and if it says it's full, it just means full in-state. All right, most of the time, a lot of schools out there. Okay, so a lot of people out there, even if they get that kind of an award, they still can't be able to raise the other amount of money. Okay, so what also we do as part of the program is to work with lenders who offer unsecured international student loans. Okay, which tops up the amount that is left for you now to take care of everything for you to be able to study here in the US. Okay, and these are things, you see, when I was back in Kenya, I had no idea that even there is lenders out there that lend to international students and you don't need anything. Can you imagine about that? Nothing. All you need to show is that you are smart, is that you are brilliant. Okay, and how can you be able to show that? You have to be going to a very good school, because they don't partner with just any school out there. Okay, because these are unsecured international student loan. Okay, and what these lenders, when they are doing the underwriting before they give you the loan, they look at your probability of getting a job. Okay, that's what they are banking on, that you're gonna get a job once you graduate from school. You're not gonna come here, take a loan of, like, for example, 10,000 or 20,000, then disappear after you're done with your master's. Okay, so they look at your probability of getting a job. Okay, and what are the indicators of someone who can get a job? That person has to be smart. The more smarter you are, the more likely you are going to get a job. It's just common sense. Okay, so they use that criteria to lend to international students. You don't have to have a rich dad. You don't have to have a rich mom. All you need to have is your brains, and you get a loan. Okay, so we figured that out. All right, which I didn't know even before I came to this country. I had no idea there's companies out there that lend. Okay, so anyways, we source for funding in terms of graduate assistantship awards and unsecured international student loans. Okay, also, what we did was, because also, see, you can get people, you can find a source of funding for students to come here, everything taken care of, but still, there's a lot of poor people back home that will not even be able to raise the air ticket to come to this country, even if they have a full scholarship. Okay, so what we did was, we thought about it, and we are like, you see, now we are able to get funding, right, in terms of graduate assistantship awards and unsecured international student loans. Okay, everything is taken care of from this side. Okay, but there's a lot of people out there, they are not able to afford money to take care of this whole process of coming to the US. Okay, you don't wake up today and just, hop in a plane and come to America. It needs money. That whole process needs a lot of money. A lot of people, they don't have that money. So we try to figure out how can we reduce that burden of those people who want to come here and study. Okay, so we formed a circle. It's called the Airlift Circle. Okay, so we formed a circle within the program, all right? And this circle, basically, for anybody who is out there and they want to join the program, they join the circle, they make a contribution into the circle, okay? And then now the circle gives them money at the time of relocation, at the time of coming to the US. The circle gives them the money that they need for them to take care of those other little expenses. Not little, actually, it's a lot of expenses that are needed. Of course, visa fees, immunizations, all right, air tickets, okay, even accommodation maybe for the first 1 month or so. Okay, all that it usually comes out to around 300,000. Okay, so you contribute a certain amount, then now the circle gives them 3 times the amount that they contribute. Minimum contribution to that program is 100,000. In fact, actually, if right now, what we're trying to do is trying to even to see whether we can work with some partners, okay, even like Mastercard Foundation and all that. For us now, even we don't, what we want is to have a situation where even someone doesn't have to contribute anything into the program, okay, so that we can be able to take care of that and give them money so that they can be able to come here. But for now, because this is a very, very young program, they have to contribute that $1,000, but they get $3,000 to take care of all those other relocation expenses so that now they can be able to come here. Okay.
That is very important.
Aspect of coming here.
Beautiful. Now,
Yes.
Let's take a short break because there's a lot. We want even to look at the success stories because following you on your page, I know there are some success stories of students who have come in from a very. You look at them and you can tell that. And the story that they give, they come from a very humble background, but they have brains. They come from humble backgrounds, but they have brains. I always say, it doesn't matter where you are coming from. It doesn't matter your history. It doesn't matter your biological background or even your financial background. As long as you have some brains and some visions, the vision will find its way to its destiny. The vision will attract people to support it, and you will go very far. Thank you so much, Bob. Now, let's look at some other aspects of the Kenya Airlift program. One is the whole dynamic. I see some very deep, some very huge vision. Do you give this money to, are there co-signers?
All right. Okay, good. Now, when it comes to the Kenya Airlift program, there is no cosigner because like, for example, when a student gets a loan from the SACCO, we don't cosign anything. We just give them the money. We are hoping that when they come here, they'll be able to get good jobs. And I'm going to talk about how actually they can be able to get jobs. Because also these are some of the questions that a lot of people ask. Okay, because people have so many limiting beliefs because they think that it's so hard even to get a job in corporate world. All right. Now, there's no cosigner. You don't have to cosign anything if you're in the Kenya Airlift program. And even the lenders that I talked about, there's no collateral. You get a loan, whatever loan that you need, other than because already you've gotten your graduate assistantship award, you get the other in terms of a loan, and you're good. All right. Like I said, what they look at is your ability to repay, and that means you must be smart. Okay. So they also look at, what kind of program are you coming to do? So for us, we don't just take anybody out there. You have to be coming to study an IT-related master's program.
Repeat that and underline.
Yes.
You must be coming to study an IT-related master's program. So it is not a first degree.
No, it's a master's program. It's not
master's program.
Undergraduate. It's master's.
That's good.
Yes.
That's good. Proceed.
Yeah. But also a lot of questions that I get from a lot of people is, do you have to have an IT undergraduate for you to actually do an IT master's? No. Okay. Because the kind of IT master's programs that we want them to do here, these are analytics master's programs. Okay. Analytics master's programs, you don't really have to have an IT background. It's basically it's very, very similar to actually what we train people here. Like what I told you, like you don't have, for example, I don't have an IT background. So we train people on this kind of thing. So you don't need that IT background as far as your undergraduate is concerned for you to do an IT-related master's program in analytics. All right? Now, what we actually do, other than just bringing these students here and funding and getting funding for them, what we do once the student land here, we train them on the side on exact same skills that we charge so much money. If you go to our website, we charge a lot of money for these programs. Yeah, we train these kids who are coming from Kenya for free on these skills that we talked about earlier. Okay, robotics, process automation, artificial intelligence and machine learning, data science. Okay, Oracle Cloud Financials. All these training programs, we offer these students. So as they pursue their masters, we are training them on the side on job skills. Okay, so that now when you graduate from school, you are now going to be out there looking for work without any skills. You already have the skills that are needed in corporate America.
Awesome.
Okay, all right. You would be out there struggling like I used to struggle, trying to figure out, how to go about these things. Okay, you already have the skills. And these are practical skills. We'll give them capstone projects within the program. They are working, they are doing their masters, they are maintaining their F1 visas because they are coming to school anyways. But on the side also, we are offering these training programs. We have a full curriculum, okay, of this training for them, so that now they finish their masters, they already have the skills that are needed. You can decide to go with robotics, field. You can decide to go with data science, artificial intelligence, machine learning. You can decide to go with Oracle. It's all what you want. Okay, so those are the 3 areas that you can decide to go with. Okay, so now when they graduate, they already have the skills that are needed for them to get a job in corporate America. Basically, the exact same skills that I was trained on that made me get a job in the corporate world. All right. And these jobs, like I told you, these are the jobs that come with immigration papers. Okay, because like I told you, for you to get a green card or for you to get an H-1B visa, you have to have a skill that Americans don't have. So these are the skills that Americans don't have. These are the skills that we train these kids on, so that now they can be able to get those good jobs out there in the corporate world. And also we offer the placement services for them. We are not just bringing them and then train them and then just leave them like that. No, we make sure that these guys will get good jobs, because that's actually our business, placement services. That's something that we do as a company here in the US. Okay, and we want to hold their hand. They come here, they go to school, they finish school, we train them, we help them get jobs, because also they need to pay us because we've already given them money from the circle. So we have to make sure that they are getting these good jobs. Jobs are there, man. Jobs are there. All you need to have is the right skill. And that's really what we are trying to achieve in this Kenya Airlift program. We've realized that a lot of our people, there's so many people out there without the legal papers in this country. And these are people who came to this country as international students.
Oh, yes.
Yes. Yeah. So you can't just sit there all the time and keep on complaining and saying, oh, you know what, a lot of our people, they are struggling, no papers, nothing. Okay, they came here, they have the brains and everything, and they are doing all these other odd jobs. If we sit there and keep on complaining, we'll never go far. We have to come up with solutions, and really, that's one of the solutions that we are trying to come up with in this Kenya Airlift program.
I love what you're talking about, and I want to admit that this is a lot of good information. I know it is I know it is a lot to digest, but this is what Gadhogo is calling wide-eye opener topic. Wide-eye opener topic. I'll ask you a question as we proceed, and I'll make sure that I remember. And for me not to forget, let me ask you right now. Our parents came. They have children, some of them who grew up in Kenya, or rather who came here when they were young. They are now, they are now in high school, they're starting to get to college. That's one category. There are those who are born here by immigrant parents who just relocated from Kenya, and they came, and in the process, they have their children born in the US. And mostly we tend to look at what our parents are doing. They are in the nursing field, they are in the trucking industry, they are in the health industry, they are, like that. Yes. What is your message after all this experience to these parents and to these young people who are listening and watching and who will listen after this, as far as seizing the opportunity or eating the fruits of being in America is concerned?
Okay, what I always say is this, because I think a lot of our people, we come here and we get told this is the only way that you can be able to make some, this is the only way that you can do well. No, follow this, okay? What I usually like saying is this, right? You don't need to do what you are. If you're coming here, or if you're already here as a young person, you don't have to really do what your dad is doing. You don't have to do what your mom is doing. You don't have to do what they did when they came here. Okay, if you are passionate, let's say, for example, and a lot of young people out there, they're very, very passionate about IT, because everything nowadays is all about technology. Anyways, okay, they are very tech savvy, right? And, when it comes to the tech world, okay, I might be biased a little bit because I'm in the tech space, but when it comes to technology, a lot of young people out there, they know about technology, a lot of them. Okay, so don't feel that burden of, like you really have to follow what your dad did or what your mom did. Follow your passion. If you're good in IT, then do IT. Okay, and like I say, IT is not just about coding. There's a lot of things that you can do in the technology world. There's a lot in the social media, digital world. Like there's so much that you can actually do. There's a lot of really, really good jobs out there, I'm telling you guys. A lot of really, really good jobs. All you need to do is just open your eyes. Okay, open your eyes, read more, do a lot of research, figure out. Okay, and you're gonna get there, and then work towards that. Of course, you have to have that passion. You have to work towards it. I get a lot of people also who want to get into the tech space. They come even, for example, into our programs. If you come to my programs and you think that you can just succeed just like that, just because you got it doesn't work out like that. Even if you paid whatever you have to pay, you actually have to put in the work, okay? Because success doesn't come that easily. Otherwise, everybody will be out there making some really good money. That's why very few people are successful in the world, financially successful. Very, very few people, because not many people can put in the hard work. It takes a lot of effort to make money, actually. No, unless you are someone out there, unless you are out there stealing or whatever, but it takes a lot of hard work.
Now that is the
really
part.
Good money.
Now that is the part that maybe many people would not want to hear and to agree, but that is the truth. Tell us this. Yes. Let us look at the success stories. You can mention some of them. Some of the success stories. I've been reading about Appstec and whatever you're doing, the Kenya Airlift program. Can you please mention to our viewer some of the success stories and from where they come from?
Absolutely. Now, like I said, the program has not been there for a long time. In fact, actually, it takes so long for someone to actually, from the point that you start until the point when you come here, it takes at least a year for you to get here. All right. So when we started this program, it was very, very hard for us even to convince someone to get into the program, because we run everything on the internet. Okay, so a lot of Africans out there, a lot of Kenyans out there, they see you advertising about the program, talking about the program. They are like, well, where is your office in Kenya? We are used to people conning us. Okay, so you're asking us to put in some money somewhere and we don't know you. You are based in the US, you don't have an office, right? So the first year was very, very challenging for us. In fact, actually, the first year we had, I think, 3 students. Three students who enrolled, not coming here, enrolling. Okay, now to start the process. Okay, and now that process, because see, for students to come through our program, they have to do some exams. Okay, it's called GMAT exam, because the schools that we work with, they require very high GMAT scores. Okay, and that's why we look for the best students out there. You can't just come to our program just like that. You have to have achieved a certain grade, especially in KCSE, at least a B in KCSE and a B plus in math in KCSE. Now, then combined with the second class division, okay? And you are coming for masters, all right? So anyways, so there's this exam that you have to do, which takes a lot of time. In fact, it takes on average 6 months for you to do it, all right? Now, when we started, it took a lot of time even for some of these students even to pass. So our first student who came was in 2019. Remember, I said the program we started in 2018. our first student who landed in America was in 2019. All right. This is a guy from Meru County. Okay. He had been working back in Kenya as an accountant. He was, he didn't like the job, and he was like, he heard about the program. In fact, actually, he was among the first students that I enrolled. All right. And we brought him in 2019 August. Okay. Then after 2019 August, January of 2019, sorry, we're in 2021. Yeah, 2020 January, we brought 2 more students, okay? One of them from Nairobi, okay? And another one also from Meru. Very humble family, typical, families from back home, mom, a teacher, the dad, a civil servant, those kind of families, okay? And the students, they are studying at Illinois State University. And now, the third batch of the students, we have 5 students who came this January. All right, this 2021. Yes, this January we brought 5 students. Majority of them, they are at Illinois State University. Another one is in Alabama, University of Alabama in Huntsville. And we also have another student who is studying in Kansas City at Park University. All of them taking masters in business analytics. All right. Now, as far as the number of students that we've been able to enroll, right now, we've had a lot of, in fact, actually, because we were featured on TV, on Daring Abroad on KTN last year, when we brought the students who came last year, January, 2020 January, and we were featured on NTV. And from that time now, people started actually realizing that this is a genuine program, okay? And we've had a lot of students joining the program. In fact, actually, right now, we are averaging about a student every other day who are joining the program. Okay, so we are seeing that this is a program that's going to grow. Okay, this is basically the beginning. And for me, the vision for me as Bob, for our company, is to basically, what we are trying to really do is, as much as we are impacting the lives of these students, personally also what we want to do is grow a company, an IT consulting company, all right? One of the biggest IT consulting companies owned by an African. Because you see, we don't have a lot of these big companies here owned by us Africans.
True.
And if you look, Indians, most biggest IT companies out there, they are owned by Indians. Infosys, Tata Consulting, Accenture. Okay, these are big multinational IT companies. All right. So what we are trying to do is even grow this program, grow this company. We don't even have to look for work or jobs for these people who are graduating now and trying to look for work. We don't have to look for jobs outside. We can actually absorb them within our own company, because we have a lot of people that are coming through the program. We need brilliant minds to help us support the company, all right? And we can do amazing things. What we are trying to basically do is we are trying to build a movement of brilliant Kenyans here in America, okay? Brilliant Kenyans. We can do a lot with the right brains. We can implement projects even back home for big companies, okay? You can imagine having a group of, like, for example, the best students out there, like, for example, having a University of Nairobi graduates, like brilliant minds somewhere here in America. We can do a lot of things. We can implement big, complex projects, because these are people who are smart. They have the right skills. We can do amazing stuff. And that's really what we are trying to build here.
This is very amazing. I love it.
Thank you so much.
Now, finally, as we come to conclusions, there's a lot of integrity issues being raised whenever such an idea comes up. And
Yes.
because many Kenyans have suffered on the hands of many people. I do a lot of promotions for land buying, and every time you hear, hey, I would wish you to speak about that part, the part of integrity issues. And as you prepare to speak about that, I want you to take us through the process. How does somebody apply? Where does somebody apply? and it's important for people to know how they can connect with you for more programs. And are you thinking of expanding this particular Kenya Airlift to other programs, or you are at the moment concentrating on the tech industry? Now, Catherine Duro, thank you so much. Victoria Mwamsa, asante sana. I have so many people sending messages and even questions. Steve Daniels, have you any visa denials at the embassy? Tracy Regero, asante sana. Grace Mirera. Cecilia Ndegwa from Optiven, thank you so much. Roman Karaoke, thank you so much, Roman Karaoke. The founder of Chapati Forum, doing a good job down in Ruero. These are the people who have a children's home, children facility back in Ruero, and the Dream Center in Worcester. Susie Benna, thank you so much. In Seattle, Washington, do they help young students who would love to do masters? I think you came in late, and that is one of the things that they do, and we have been told exactly how they do it. Thank you so much. Gadomi, Wide Eye Open a Topic. Steve Daniels, thank you so much. Robert Shiri Daktari, Captain, thank you for giving One Voice Consortium the platform to bring our diaspora heroes like Bob Mwiti. Thank you so much. Mwariwawa Home, asante sana. I see so many other things, so many other mentions up here. Mwaura wa Mbakasi, thank you so much. Zippy K. Rango, Zippy from Canada. I think, again, I like the wide resourced information, smart brains here. That is only possible on the Trumpet of Hope. This is where we get all these brilliant brains. Steve Daniels, are they loaning the student directly or through? I think we mentioned that. Bishop Joseph Mwangi de Rito, karibu sana. Thank you so much. Dr. Peter Ndiangu, and congratulations, Daktari. And he says, thank you, Bob. Let the people know. Thank you, Captain, for bringing the amazing people in conjunction with One Voice Consortium. Jeff Melodies from Banana, asante sana. MD Mine, thank you so much. Kimani Caroline says good information. Do you offer any IT training? I think you mentioned something like that, and you're going to repeat that as we come back. Wanja Liz, do not limit yourself. Thank you, Wanja. And she says, this is my brother from another mother, and I am happy to have you. So congratulations for having a sister from another mother and a brother from another mother, and that is good. Elaine Branch and Luce Watoana and all the others who have sent messages. I'm going to look at them as we proceed. I even see Gina, Dr. Gina, I see you somewhere. I saw you somewhere. Thank you so much. You know, that's the other one who is doing an awesome job. Hosted her the other day, and it was awesome. Sylvia, thank you. James, Joseph Mushina. I hope Wamboi is listening to this, Joseph, and I hope that she has connected her other friends, because I think this message is rightfully hers, together with her other friends. Sue Angaine, thank you so much. Elizabeth Kangede, a counselor from United Kingdom. Special salutations. Elijah Masharia Mwangi, pastor, thank you so much, from Austin, Texas. Josephine Wanjiro, thank you so much. I hope those kids are listening and watching to this, because this is what will change their lives. Esther Kibe, thank you so much. Shirowa Jora, all the way from California, the Silicon Valley. I hope that we are together as we proceed. Evangelist Mercy, thank you so much. Mary Sam, thank you so much. Gina Muigai, thank you so much. Jerry Coco, thank you. I see Ketua Paul, Dan Cobra, I saw you and I salute you. And now you have a new I see. Denimo, thank you so much. Lucia, Zipi Kirango, Tabe Moreith, thank you so much. Lost and Found, Reverend Priscilla, Esther Gavoni, Gojo Jerem Muaura, Lucewato, Anahadasa Eshta, all of you who are sending messages and who are tuning in through our app and also through our website and also through our Facebook page. We are here with Bob. Bob, can you please mention something out of all the things that I just said? There are so many things that I pointed in there. And you know why I'm confident with you? Because you are a communicator. So when I mention all those things, I know you're going to pop in and mention one or two things as we wind up.
All right, okay. Now let's start with how can someone get into the program. Well, we actually have our website. It's not just for the company. It's called www.kenyaairliftprogram.com. Program as in program.com. And you can go there. You'll be able to see what we are doing, the beneficiaries of the program. Like I said, we've been featured on TV, so you can go there, watch some of the documentaries that we have over there. And then other than that, you go there, you download the program handbook. It has everything or all the information that you really need to know about the program. Okay. Now, coming back now to the issue of trust. Okay. You talked about that. I really understand where Kenyans are coming from. Okay, and like I said earlier, when we start, yes, that's the website.
Mm-hmm.
Now, and the other person who is there, we actually won an award. That's my partner in the program. Is an MCA back home, a very brilliant guy. He was a student leader at University of Nairobi. In fact, actually before, what is this guy? What is his name? The MP for Embakasi. What is his name? He was the Sonu chairman for University of Nairobi.
Oh,
before that guy.
I see. Babu.
Babu, yes. Before Babu, this guy was the Sonu chairman. So
right.
He's a brilliant guy. He's an MCA back in Meru. And actually he's the one, he's reached out to me and we partnered with the program. An amazing, amazing guy.
Thank you.
When it comes to trust, okay, I really understand where Kenyans are coming from, because a lot of people out there, they've taken advantage of Kenyans, okay? And especially even people in the diaspora. We see also here back in the diaspora, sometimes even people back home, they take advantage of us. You know, even your own family, you tell them, okay, you build for me a house. They don't even build for you, okay? They give you some pictures out of nowhere and then you end up not even having a house. So there's that trust that is lacking within our community. Okay, and that's actually why we even struggled initially in this program. As much as, you know, we want to help people, people don't trust, because, you know, if you don't have an office and if they hear, okay, this is something that is online, it's entirely online, they start wondering, like, you know, how can I give my money? And then what if this guy disappears? So that's really what we've been trying to do. And I share a lot of information out there, because what I know from my own experiences in having been in the business, for you to win someone as a customer, to win a customer, you have to build that relationship with the customer. Okay. And that's really what I try to do. I preach out there a lot. I share a lot of my information. In fact, actually, if you Google Bob, you're going to see like a million stuff about me. A lot of information out there. I share content out there on a day-to-day basis. Okay, I've been featured on TV. I've been featured on Voice of America in Washington, D.C., talking about these things. All right, I've been featured on KTN. In fact, actually, the same batch that came this month, I think their program is airing on NTV, I think in 2 weeks' time, okay, on Daring Abroad. So we try to, you know, push ourselves out there to the world so that they can know actually this is a genuine program. Because we know people are worried about, you know, trust, okay? Because we know that, okay? And that's why we want to build that relationship first, okay? If you come to us, you don't have to join the program immediately. Get to learn about even how coming to the US works, okay? Get to learn a lot of this, because I share a lot of information about students who want to come to study here in the US, not just Airlift program. A lot of information, because so many people, you know, they come here and they're not able to figure things out because of lack of information. So I share a lot of that information to build that trust with people. Okay, so that's how we do it in the Kenya Airlift program. Okay,
thank you.
And hopefully we'll be able to expand the program as quickly as possible and be able to impact a lot of people.
I'm so happy, and it is nice seeing these photos and images. Some of them, you know, it touches me. Let me allow me to share this once again. This is the University of Pennsylvania, and then I see another one here that I just saw, University of South Florida. And, you know, I see the videos, the student visa interview experience, the first day in the local mall in the U.S. All these are experiences, the journey to study in the U.S., the city of Tampa, Florida. I see a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful stories. Saying goodbye or whatever to team, yeah? You know, it is important. You can get to this website. It is the Kenya Airlift program.com, the Kenya Airlift program.com, and you will learn a lot. It is important to know that there are Kenyans who are doing a great here in the US. There's somebody who is asking about the GMAT exam for the student, the company or the student. Can you please guide us on that? And I saw that on the Appstec, the appstecamerica.com, the 5 reasons why you should choose our high income IT skills. I saw the other one about the USA graduation programs. I saw something about the 5 reasons why you should choose our GMAT and GRE self-study materials. All these are also on the appstecamerica.com, yeah? And so mention about that.
Yeah, if you're coming to study your master's here, especially if you're coming to study anything related to business or IT, you are probably gonna have to sit for GMAT exam. GMAT means Graduate Management Admissions Test. All right, it's a very, very tough program. I mean, it's a very, very tough exam. It's all about high school math. Okay, high school math is not easy, and of course English. Okay, so in the Kenya Airlift program, the students, they have to do that exam. The schools that you work with, these are really top schools. You work with the University of South Florida, Illinois State, University of Alabama in Huntsville. We have University of Central Florida, Florida State University. These are really good top schools, and they require really good GMAT scores. So in our program, you have to get a score of at least a 550 out of 800. Okay, that's not easy to get, so that's why we look for really good students. All right. Now, for anybody who is out there, and maybe they're not even part of the Kenya Airlift program, we also provide the materials for GMAT and GRE exam. All right. So if you are out there, maybe you are sitting for your GMAT, you want to study your GMAT, because these materials can be very, very, very expensive. We have a lot of content when it comes to GMAT and GRE materials. A lot. Okay, you're gonna come into the you're gonna buy whatever materials that we give, and it can be a little bit overwhelming because it's too much. Okay, so anybody who is out there and they really want to get hold of GMAT materials, the latest one, all kind of materials for GMAT, we have all that stuff in our portal. In our website. All you need to do is just go to the website, check it out, check all the materials that are there, and you can just buy.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. Give us your contacts and how people can get to you apart from the website. I know there are people who would wish to get to you.
Absolutely. So anybody who is out there, they want to reach out to me, they can send us an email at info@appstecamerica.com. You spell Appstec as APPSTEC America.com. info@appstecamerica.com. Also, you can call us at 813-573-5619, and my extension is extension 402. If you call 402, you're gonna definitely get hold of me. Okay, so those are our contact details.
Repeat the telephone number once again.
Okay, the telephone number is 813-573 5619, and my extension is extension 402.
Let me see if I can put that one right there. I think that is important. That is the telephone number, 813-573-5619, extension 402. That is important. So give us a closing remark, because I actually never thought that it will go this far, I'm telling you. But you are such a resource. You're such a diaspora Kenyan hero. So we are so proud of you, Bob Mwiti. I thank God because this program has come to be. me. And I want to say thank you so much to the Diaspora One Voice Consortium, led by Dr. Shiri and all the other members of the Diaspora One Voice. It has been awesome. And I wouldn't ask for a better person or a better guest on this very special day that is historic in the USA and also in the whole world. I'm telling you, when we get to witness the swearing in of the 46th president of the US of A, with a promise to make this country look good and place it back to where it belongs. And immediately he went to action in the Oval Office, and we also saw his able deputy or the vice president who broke the record as the very first woman vice president, and also from the immigrant community, if I may say. That is the first black and also from the Asian background. I feel so honored to have Bob Mwiti give us a few words as you close.
All right. Thank you so much, Captain. Now, I really want to thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to share my story on this amazing platform. All right. I follow you a lot, by the way. So even before you reached out to me, I actually knew that you had this platform. In fact, actually, I watched your interview with my very good friend of mine, Gina Mwiti, who is doing some amazing stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So I really want to thank you so much for giving me that opportunity to be here. I also want to thank the Diaspora One Voice Consortium for inducting me into their platform. All right, I got vetted just the other day, and now I'm part of that group that is doing some amazing things that are impacting lives of a lot of Kenyans out there. I want to assure you that we're going to be working together. I really love this kind of work where we can be able to do some work that can impact a lot of lives out there. And also, I really want to thank the diaspora community because also I was recognized the other day also as one of the most inspiring Kenyans in the diaspora in the year 2020. And I really want to thank everybody who recognized me for that. I don't take anything for granted. It's because of the support that we get from the diaspora community. I get a lot of calls from people in the diaspora, telling me that, Bob, you're doing some amazing things, because also it's not easy, especially this kind of program, the Kenya Airlift program. Yeah. This is a very, very big burden. Okay. And I know this program, if anything can go wrong, I know the repercussions. Oh,
yeah, you're gone, yeah.
Yes. So I know even like, what can happen if this kind of program fails. So I want the diaspora team to really believe in us. Okay. I know what it needs for us to take this program to the next level. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to do my best to make sure that we hold, our people's hands, those brilliant Kenyans who are back home and they want to come here and find those amazing opportunities here. We can definitely be able to bring them here and hold them and help them find those good jobs in corporate America. It's very, very possible, guys. It's possible out there. You can be able, you don't have to struggle, with, good jobs. Jobs are there. You just need to have the right skills. And that's why I ask diaspora people to believe in it's very, very possible. Don't have those limiting beliefs, because I see this a lot. I see some of the comments out there. There's some people out there, even like they'll say, oh, you know what? No, I can't even take a loan to come to school. They don't even realize that a loan is an investment. As long as you're not taking a loan to misuse it, okay? You know exactly, what you have to do with these loans. Even these Indians, in fact, actually the Indians that I went to school with, most of them actually, they come to the US on student loans, okay? But also when they come here, they get good jobs. You can get a very good job and you can be able to repay your loan. Nothing big, it's not a big deal. When you have a good job, you can definitely be able to repay your student loan very, very easily, okay? So there's a lot of people out there who may want to come to the US. Don't worry, we have a very, very good president now. Things gonna get better, okay? A lot of our people also, even who didn't have the right documents, these things gonna be good, all right? So that's really my closing remarks. And thank you everybody who watched this and who listened to me. And I wish you all the best, guys.